Real Estate Guru TV, your personal real estate resource. Now, your host, Sean T. Shallis, your personal real estate guru.
Welcome to Real Estate Guru TV, your host, Sean Shallis, your personal real estate resource. So today we're really excited. Actually, I ran into one of my best friends here, James Chu, who's actually my mortgage mentor, who's been around for years. James actually works for probably a Fortune 500 company in the banking industry. He's been around for over 20 years. He's one of the biggest producers in the country. James, we've worked together for I don't know how long. Tell us.
A while now.
For how many years? Probably
about 15 plus years.
Right. So we actually met at one of our favorite places to go, which is the golf course over at Cedar Hill Country Club in Livingston. Hey James, tell us about what's going on with the mortgages right now, the mortgage rates for first-time buyers.
Well, the mortgage rate has been trending pretty low. It's been kind of hovering around the 30-year fix, around 4 3/4, 4 5/8. It's been steady. It's been trending up and down. The market is kind of, so again, the recommendation is if you have an opportunity, lock in the interest rate.
Lock in the interest rate.
Absolutely.
So we've been talking to a lot of people and saying to them that, hey, over time what's happening is as even though we're at all-time lows on the prices, what we think is as the market starts to stabilize, I keep saying to people that interest rates are most likely going to go up with a better economy. Is that accurate?
Well, that's kind of what all the experts are predicting. Yes, that's kind of what our senior leaders are kind of expecting to happen. Again, it depends on the market conditions and everything else. So what we always recommend is if you're happy with the interest rate, lock in.
So here's a question for you. You hear all these horror stories about the banks aren't lending, the banks aren't doing this. Our experience has been, we've been able to help about 30 or 40 people so far this year on the sales side, and you've actually done probably 75% of those people. So we know it works, but our customers and some of the people watching this may not know that it works. What does it take for a buyer to get a mortgage nowadays? Does he need 20, 50% down, $1 million?
The mortgage industry kind of revert back. It's kind of back to early lendings of the early 90s.
Right.
Okay, where everything's a full documentation. The banks are lending with our three primary investors, Fannie, Freddie, and FHA. All the programs are still available. So the notion of banks are not giving mortgages is definitely incorrect. We are lending. We are lending money, except today there is no more of those no documentation programs.
We call them ninja loans, right?
Yes, absolutely.
No income, no assets, no job.
So these days are all full documentation, and in order for somebody, basically you have to prepare all your documentation, and the borrower actually has to qualify today in order for them to obtain a mortgage.
So let's say a guy has a job. At what point can he get? What is the minimum down payment that the guy could probably buy a home with in today's economy?
Well, on an FHA mortgage, they could put as low as 3.5%.
3.5% of what though? Is that
of the total purchase price?
Right. Now, what if the guy only has, let's say, 5% to work with total? What if he had, because they have closing costs?
FHA allows a seller concession up to 6%.
And a seller concession
we can build. A seller concession is basically what the purchase price is built into a concession, where it allows the closing costs to be covered by the seller.
Okay. So let's say, for argument's sake, I bought a house and it's a $100,000 house. I need 3.5% to put down, so I need $3,500 to buy it. But you're going to say that I need 3 to 4% more for closing costs.
About $6,000-7,000 in that case.
Right.
Absolutely, depends on what geography you are located.
Right. So what we would do is we would make the price,
increase it by the closing costs that we estimate it to be. And as soon as the house appraised for the value, including seller concession, and we're going to be okay in terms of the down payment.
So that guy could still come to the table with roughly 3.5%, but of the full number of that 107,000.
Correct. So correct.
Right. And then there's a big disparity between properties, and people say, well, FHA. I mean, isn't that like for low income, no income people?
Absolutely not. FHA loan limit for a single family resident in the higher loan limit area goes as high as $729,750. So in today's market, we actually seen on the higher end property using FHA,
sure,
because
yeah.
this just opens the door. Again, today liquidity is everything. Most people do not want to put 20% down. People are putting as low as 3.5% down, because right now the main focus, I think, for any home buyer out there is what is the monthly payment. At the end of the day, what kind of asset they could put in, what their monthly payment's going to be. That's a bigger concern. So again, I would recommend looking at all different options and and make a determination from there.
We'll put your contact information, your email, and all that stuff on this video. But I mean, obviously, people have come to me and said, "Hey, Sean, you know more about mortgages than most of the mortgage guys I'm dealing with." And I attribute that to James, because James is my mortgage mentor without question. If I ever have a question, I always call James. If you have more questions, you can contact me directly at realestategurutv.com, or you can go to 855-RE-GURU-TV or 855-734-8788, extension 102. I'm also going to put an extension on our 800 number for James, so that you can contact him directly through that number. Look forward to hearing from you and seeing you on the other side.
Great. Thanks, Sean.
Thanks, James.
Pleasure.